Breaker, will you stop popping your gum? They'll hear you.
Not likely. They look like they've been zombieized.
He's hypnotizing the whole town through subliminal suggestion.
We possess the ultimate weapon of control. People trust television. It's their friend. Attention, citizens! Due to the financial irresponsibility and incompetence of your leaders, Cobra has found it necessary to restructure your nation's economy. Restructure your nation's economy. We have begun by eliminating the worthless green paper. The worthless green paper, which your government has deceived you into believing is valuable.
Hey, come back here! This money ain't no good! It's US dollars! Absolutely worthless!
The Hokkaido quake was 8 on the Richter scale. Everything was leveled.
I don't get it. There are no active faults in that area.
And Bazooka thought he heard some explosions just before the quake started.
Oh, then it wasn't a natural phenomenon.
It doesn't make sense.
You know, Japanese scientists are trying to prevent major earthquakes by setting off precisely placed explosions.
And Cobra might have figured out how to cause earthquakes with explosions.
Right.
That is our incentive program.
Ted! Ted! Over here! It's me, Flint!
Now there's a man totally absorbed in his work.
You've turned them into slaves.
Ah, our personnel manager. Show our new employee the virtues of Cobra Incorporated.
There's only one. You'll be out of business soon.
You'll change your opinion after you see our training film.
Good evening. Welcome to the Pleasant Cove 7 o'clock news. Pleasant Cove fireman Dan Jenkins risked life and limb today to bravely rescue Mrs. Murphy's cat Fluffy. Pleasant Cove fireman Dan Jenkins
Yes,
risked life...
another happy employee.
Breaker, will you stop popping your gum? They'll hear you.
Not likely. They look like they've been zombieized.
You're right.
Hey, do you hear that hum?
What hum?
Over there, the satellite dish. And satellite dishes are supposed to point up. That one's pointing down. Lady J, here, put these on. It'll soundproof your ears. I want you to see but not hear this.
Good evening. Welcome to the Pleasant Cove 7 o'clock news.
It's the nightly news. So what?
Things aren't always what they seem. Now, I'm only gonna show you every 20th frame. Good evening, employees. Tonight we will be expecting you on the boarding docks at midnight, so go to bed early.
He's hypnotizing the whole town through subliminal suggestion.
You got it.
You don't think anybody will watch that garbage? Some people will watch anything, Scarlet.
And that's not the worst of it, Lady J. Some people will believe anything. He's got the planes.
Yes, you can never win if your enemy is bigger and stronger than you.
You changed the ending?
Yes, to promote Cobra's social philosophy.
How was this accomplished?
Computers, of course. Voice and picture synthesis.
Amazing. But, Commander, why move our entire operation to this Himalayan peak?
Because G.I. Joe will never find us here, and we can beam our programs to our satellite with no interference.
I would feel more secure if the Joe's activities were under control.
You lack imagination, Destro. We possess the ultimate weapon of control. People trust television. It's their friend. They believe what television tells them about the news, the weather, or G.I. Joe. Don't you see? We control the creation of truth. Now that our audience is captivated, let us bend their will to ours.
Disengage the Subliminal enslavement program and put it on manual, Commander.
Yes!
You are all under the spell of Cobra. You will do whatever we say.
Yes, Master.
Drop to your knees.
Yes, Master.
Shout, long live Cobra!
Long live Cobra!
Scrape the floor!
Yes, Master.
I want to go now, in closing, to a little subliminal piece that Darren McBreen worked on. I contributed to this. A lot of other folks in the office did. And there's so many of these subliminals, we could spend an hour on just each one. But I want you to notice the Sharpie commercial in here. In the Sharpie commercial, it was up for 1 second. But when you slow it down, it says, don't protest. So the subliminal message is don't protest. They have different shows where they implant that drug dealers who love Hitler, like Ron Paul, that just flashes for a minute. Drug dealer, Hitler, Ron Paul. Again, this is out there, and it's being put in everywhere.
Every day, our senses are being constantly bombarded by subliminal messages that are found in TV, movies, and advertisements. The subliminal messages we are subjected to are unrecognizable by the conscious mind and only recognizable in our subconscious mind. The messages and imagery are passively absorbed and then stored in our subconscious, where propagandists deliberately implant artificial thoughts, which in turn can affect our actions and attitudes later in life. Experiments have shown that less than 1 minute after the viewer begins to watch television, the brain switches from beta-level consciousness, associated with active and logical thought, to alpha level, which is associated with passive acceptance and suggestibility. This is why advertisers spend billions of dollars a year on commercials, as well as product placement within TV shows. Political messages are implanted in fictional TV programs as the relaxed, meditative state of the viewer is receptive to the programming. One example is AMC's Breaking Bad television series, as it depicts a meth villain as a Ron Paul supporter.
I looked him up. It was one of these physicists, one of Hitler's guys, a physicist named Werner Heisenberg. Real cute, huh?
In a basic college-level marketing class, in your first year of radio, television, and film, at least for me, and then I've seen some other textbooks and curriculum and found it's also in those, but most RTF schooling teaches you that they have had subliminals for at least 70 years in the United States and Europe. And so, yes, there is subliminal messaging everywhere. It is all over the place. It's an absolute fact that they flicker it at a rate, and that they have the televisions designed for that rate to bring you into a dreamlike state. I mean, it is a fact that within minutes, you go into a dream brainwave when watching television. Go read a book by the father of modern advertising, Edward Bernays, where he calls you a dumb slave and admits they run your whole life. I've read both his major books. One of them's called Propaganda. Edward Bernays.
The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed. Our minds are molded, our tastes are formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we've never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized.
They live, we sleep. And people that are in this hypnotic state, they love the servitude. They love the bondage. They defend their prison. And it's up to those of us to understand what's happening to educate people about this. Now, out of all the dozens of examples that are shown in those clips, I thought we'd go back and show you the Sharpie, where when you watch it in real time, it's like a second flashed up there where it says don't protest. So be aware of it, understand it's going on. Let's play that Sharpie clip in regular time.
What would the world be like without self-expression? There'd be no purpose. No passion. No putting it out.
By the way, there's a bunch of subliminals in here, but you saw that less than half a second, and they've got people in front of it. So they're talking about there'd be no expression. So for people that consciously see it, the propaganda is so good, they're like, oh, they're saying there'd be no protesting. But for the general public, it's subliminal. Now, let's go ahead and show it slowed down for you. Here it is. Because... show it again. Stop protesting. Stop protesting. Folks, that was a power-packed InfoWars Nightly News for this Thursday.